1 in 200 billion.
Billion. It would take 34,000 billion watts of energy traveling at 1/40th of a billionth of a second to change the chemical makeup of a fine linen shroud to leave that image. And he said, we don't have that power on Earth. So a nuclear event happens. He works with one of the most powerful lasers on Earth. They grew a sample. It took 5 years to get a first century model of a shroud, and they would beam their lasers. Eric Jumper and John Jackson, they're at the Air Force Academy. They're physicists, they're professors. They have an VP8 image analyzer. Have you ever heard of a VP8 image analyzer?
I have not.
This guy has a VP8 image analyzer, and he takes a photo of the shroud from 1931, the Henri photo. We cannot explain how a 2,000-year-old burial cloth has 3D information encoded in it. There's Bruno Barberis. He takes all of the information that I just showed you on the cross, the wound patterns, the crown of thorns, and he assigns as a mathematician a probability to it. And Bruno says, Jeremiah, there is a 1 in 200 billion chance it is not the historical Jesus.
1 in 200 billion.
Billion, based on his mathematical probability. And so then I asked him, because, you know, people are dumb and sometimes you have to ask questions to bring your audience along, or they just need to hear it a different way. I said, so Bruno, are you saying that you believe that this was the Jesus of the Bible who was crucified and who this image is? He said, yes. How can I not believe that? The probability compels me to believe. He put his hands up like that. And so the shroud is mentioned in all four Gospels. All four Gospels tell us that Joseph of Arimathea and Nicodemus, two members of the Sanhedrin, ask Pilate for the body of Jesus. Pilate is shocked that he is so quickly dead. We can talk about the brutality of crucifixion later if you want to. And this was an amazing act of courage and faith, because according to Jewish tradition, if the Sanhedrin condemned a criminal to death, it was on the Sanhedrin to bury that criminal. Jesus is not buried honorably, but he's buried properly. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. He's not given an honorable burial. He's given a proper burial. And Joseph of Arimathea, who is a wealthy man, has a linen shroud of fine linen. He didn't go out to Walmart. You know, the Walmart or Target wasn't open on Friday afternoon before Shabbat and Passover, okay? Mm-hmm. He had already purchased this for his own death planning. In fact, he said, better yet, we'll use my family tomb. So they wrap, a lot of this was just expediency, because according to Jewish burial traditions, which I'm an expert in, you had to bury on the day of death before nightfall. This is Shabbat, and this is Passover. That's how we can date. We can talk about how we can date the crucifixion. We know the exact date